Hello, and welcome to Superintendent's Corner. I'm Matthew Weldon for BSTN, and joining me today is Superintendent Tim Saxton. Hello, and thank you for being here.
Glad to be here. Always good to be here at Boardman High School.
The main topic in the district these days is the realignment. Market Street will be closing at the end of the year. What do you think parents of the students should know?
Well, obviously there's a lot of questions out there, and our goal is to give good, accurate information as soon as we have that information to give the parents. We want to make sure it's good, solid information. Probably the biggest question right now for parents in current grades is, Market Street's being divided up. Am I going to be at West? Am I going to be at Robinwood? Am I going to be at Stadium? And we're on that. We have our transportation study. We're working with our transportation supervisor to take a look at the most equitable way to divide the students, but make sure we combine that with the most efficient way to bus those students. So again, our goal is the least amount of time on the bus. Again, cost savings and efficiency and building capacity. Our goal is to have that information out in the next 4 to 6 weeks for our parents.
Okay. It's actually pretty fast considering we just announced that we're closing Market Street.
No, we're putting a lot of time, a lot of brain power into it. So I believe we can stay ahead of our timeline. Actually,
is there a timetable for the redistricting?
Well, obviously we know when school starts in August, classrooms have to be ready. But we're not going to wait for summer. We want families to know, obviously here late spring, exactly where the students are going, because we want to start to build those relationships, give parents an opportunity to visit schools, meet principals, meet teachers, things that we normally take for granted as kids move grade to grade. Also, we have staff members who are changing, so we want them to connect with their new family and start to build those great partnerships.
It's always good moving them in early.
Absolutely.
So the other part is that the entire 4th grade will be moving to Center Intermediate. How will we make enough room at Center for that?
You know, that was always the big piece when we've studied how do you close an elementary. We've always tried to just take those 5 grades and put them in the other 3. It just didn't work. So really, the topic was you have to remove a grade or 2 if possible, and where do they go? So we looked at a lot of possibilities, but really the irony was we're sitting in my office discussing this, taking a look in my office and looking, we're sitting in a classroom and realized our offices are converted classrooms. They were classrooms and they were converted into offices, and so it wouldn't take a whole lot to convert them back to classrooms. So we're going to take the central office with the treasurer, the curriculum, special ed, obviously superintendent's office, and convert those back, and we are going to create 12 classrooms. Most of them, the shell's already there. Really, it's just upgrading some of the flooring and moving some of the furniture out and get it ready for our 4th graders.
Okay. So here at the high school, we don't really use the media center that much, and I understand that you're going to construct a new, smaller one and a computer lab.
Yeah, actually, if you go in our media center, back in the day, maybe when Mr. Saxton walked the halls of Boardman High School, we called it a library.
Yeah.
And that's near and dear to my heart because my mom was an elementary librarian for many years here in the school district. So I understand the connection to libraries. But if you take a look at how that space is used, the classic where people come in and pull the card catalog and check out a book, that just doesn't happen. What is happening, the way kids actually are using it, is they're taking a look at the young adult novels and periodicals and doing research. So that space is a little bit different. We want a space where kids feel welcomed, where they can actually use that to their advantage. So there's also 2 computer labs in there, and our students use those all the time. But our students have to come down to the media center to use them. The idea is let's get those computer labs up closer to the academic wing so the access is even better, quicker, more efficient. And let's convert that space, a new space, into something that kids are excited to come into, and it meets their needs, their changing needs, and fits the year 2019.
It's always nice updating the school and everything.
Absolutely. I think it'll be exciting for our staff and for our students.
And then, especially not like having to trek all the way down to the computer lab with them.
Absolutely.
It's like a travel on its own.
Right. So no long field trips.
Yeah. So let's talk about the Market Street property. There's a lot of rumors flying around what we're going to do with that. Can you clear up a little bit?
Absolutely. One of the rumors out there is that we're just going to give this away. Obviously, the township has asked, they have a need, and our goal is we want to do, obviously, our job is we need to be loyal to our school district. But part of our school district is also loyalty to our community and to our township. So using a hierarchy, we need to do what's best for the school, that school property, but we need to do that with the tenet of the fact that we have to make sure we need to listen to the community so it fits their needs. And obviously now we have a request from the township. So don't have a concrete answer on that because the board just approved this project. So now we'll put some brain power and some energy into making that work. Our goal is to get a win-win. How can we get some, see a financial benefit, because that's what prompted this move, but also make sure it's a good township and community fit with what they're asking, and it'll be good for the growth of the Boardman Township.
So switching gears a little bit, we have a new transportation director, and he was a Spartan grad. Can you tell us more about Ryan Dunn?
Oh, absolutely. I was Ryan's principal, and it sounds like we were talking a little bit earlier. That he may have been one of your coaches.
Yep.
So I remember Ryan as a student. I remember Ryan as an athlete. I remember Ryan also as a bus driver for us. So now he's our supervisor of transportation. Ryan is just, I've said this before, and I mean it. It's not just a line. He is the most passionate person about transportation, about school transportation. If you talk to him long enough, I mean, you will sense it, you will feel it. I really doubt that there's someone in this part of the state of Ohio, maybe in the whole state, maybe in the country, that's passionate about school transportation as Ryan. It's just been a lifelong pursuit and dream, and for him to come back to his alma mater is really a dream job for him. He's been on the job now just a little bit over a week, and just what he's been able to do and the passion that he brings to work and the energy he brings to work and the respect that he has already with our current busing staff is just impressive. So excited to have him on board and excited to see what he's going to do with our transportation department, how that's going to evolve and even get better.
So great things are coming soon.
Yeah, absolutly. And they're here. They're
here.
They're emerging. So
it's February, so I guess we have to talk about snow days. We've had a few of them. Some of them, the last one actually we had 2 days because of the extreme cold. So some of them seem to be called last minute. Why could that be?
Well, the funny thing about snow days, when we first entered into this cold spell, I actually had a full set of hair. So you can see what making these decisions about snow days has done to the top of my head here. But in all seriousness, we talk about, first of all, Ryan Dunn. So let's go back and take a look at what has happened this year. Our supervisor of transportation retired in December. So I've been a little bit of a man on an island, so to speak, trying to make some of these calls without some of the data input. So I know there's no doubt that I frustrated some parents by making some later decisions than normal because I'm trying to make a quality decision, and the data input's a little bit less than what I'm used to. Let's go back to what we talked about, I believe, in one of our earlier sessions. Our job is to have schools open, but we're not going to have schools open if kids can't be safely transported to school. So there's a lot of different pieces that go into that, whether it's busing, student drivers, parent transportation. So there's a lot of different avenues. We're out in the mornings driving the roads. We have a big township. We have a combination of local, county, in state roads, which isn't like some of the other districts. Some of the other districts only have some county roads and some local roads. So we take a look at a lot of different sources and just try to make the best decision. I said, I know our decision about 2 weeks ago was one of the ones that a lot of people felt some frustration because it was last minute, and it was. There's probably nobody that feels more terrible about that than Mr. Saxton himself, and I apologize. I don't like putting parents in that situation. Being a parent myself and having kids, although mine are a little bit older, I do remember those days trying to figure out, getting kids on the bus. But if safety all of a sudden trumps the fact that school comes open, doesn't matter when that happens, I got to go with the safety. And so that happened at the last minute, unfortunately. It may not seem like that on the outside, but when you pull back the decision, that's exactly what happened. The other one's a little bit easier. When they're predicting 20, 30 below, it's nice to make that call early. That's always our goal, and I'm looking forward to, if we do run into some difficult weather, having somebody like Ryan out on the road helping me out, try and make those decisions.
Okay, safety always comes first.
Absolutely.
Well, thank you for joining me today.
Like I said, it's always great to be here. I love coming to BSTN. I love coming to Boardman High School.
Remember, if you have any questions about the realignment, you can send them to questions@boardmanschools.org or check out the website for updates. I'm Matthew Welton for BSTN. Have a great day.